The last 2 years, I've had myself on a low buy, meaning I really tried to limit the amount of new items I'm buying. New items meaning non-secondhand, non-thrifted, non-vintage, etc. In this count, I have not included things like underwear and socks for obvious reasons, but I do include things like hosiery and swimsuits. I haven't necessarily put a specific number to limit of what I'm allowed to buy new every year, but it is interesting to note that both these 2 years, 2023 and 2024, I was able to stay at or under 5 items. So I wanted to show you guys what those 5 items were for this past year and just have a conversation about how I feel about those items. Are they still in my wardrobe? Do I regret buying them? And just some of the discourse around that. I also want to mention I started my low buy journey. It was because I was feeling so overwhelmed with what I was buying online. My shopping online had become extreme and just had two babies back to back. And buying online fed that urge to hit that dopamine and get to a place where I was going to feel good about my body and good about what I was wearing, but it was so the wrong direction. And so I had put myself on a low buy just to, number one, be a little bit more financially responsible for my family, and number two, to get to know myself and my own style better. And I feel like it has done wonders for me. So I feel like it's a positive thing to put out into this world, along with other creators that are talking about it. I know Michaela Dixon is very vocal about hers, and she posted a wonderful recap of her first year doing a low buy last year in 2024. And it honestly brought me to tears. It made me tear up a little bit. I know that sounds so cheesy, but she just really gets into the weeds of being a smart girl and being fiscally responsible as a young woman. And I just think that's such an incredible message. And it goes beyond just saving money and saving the environment, right? Because that's another huge piece of this discourse. But anyway, all that to say, check it out. It's definitely worth the watch. She has some interesting takes on her low buy year, and it's just inspiring for me. So let's get into what I bought in the year of 2024. Brand new from the store, non-thrifted, non-secondhand. So my first purchase of last year didn't come until May. So I lasted 5 whole months of the year without purchasing anything new. And that first purchase was a bathing suit. So I mentioned before, my body had changed a whole bunch over the last couple of years, just from having babies. I think it was the first summer, or maybe the second summer, that I'd had not pregnant or breastfeeding in 3 years. So none of my bathing suits really fit. I was also going to be going on a bachelorette party trip to Newport Beach, and I anticipated being in a swimsuit, and I wanted a cute one that was going to be functional for that, but also one that I could wear, family pool in the summer. So I went to my go-to site, which is Aerie, for swimsuits. They traditionally had my favorite, I think it was like a high waist, high cut, cheeky bottoms. I'll put them here. I'm really particular about bottoms. I'm sure a lot of you feel that way as well. And these were the best ones, but of course they don't sell them anymore. I was really bummed about that. So I was on a mission to find a replacement, and I found a really good one. This brand Toast at Free People. So I think they're still available. I'll link them here if they are, but it's in the exact same colorway that I had, and the bottoms are really similar. They're sort of like a mid-rise cut, which is my preference, but still like a cheeky high cut fit. I just find really flattering and comfortable. The top is a little bit tiny. That's the only thing that I would change. It is kind of giving under boob a lot of the time. I still love it. And anyway, made that purchase, loved it, wore that swimsuit over and over again. Will continue to wear that swimsuit this summer. Yeah, really happy about that one. The next 2 purchases came sort of back to back in the summer. I ended up buying another swimsuit, this time from Target. I honestly don't remember why. I think I was at my parents' pool and my new green swimsuit was dirty and I was wearing an old one that was too big. And I panic ordered a Target swimsuit, which ended up being very cute. I'll put a picture here. Not sure if it's still available, but Bottoms are a little bit more lower cut and the top is a bit more structured. And I really liked the red and white stripe. That sort of candy stripe is something I'm really into. I feel like I'm wearing it right now. So I got that. It's not my favorite swimsuit ever. And honestly, I don't know if I will keep it forever the same way I feel about my Toast swimsuit, but I still like it. I see myself getting wear out of it this summer as well. So I think all in all, it was a good purchase. That this might be the only one that I'm sort of iffy on of the whole bunch. And then I mentioned there were two back-to-back purchases. So my birthday's in July, and I think it was right around the same time I got that red and white swimsuit. I purchased a terry cloth jumpsuit from Aerie as a pool cover-up situation. I'm not as much of a fan of dresses as I used to be, which used to be my go-to pool cover-up or beach cover-ups. So I really wanted a long jumpsuit that would just be comfortable and go with a lot of my swimwear and just style in general. So I found this really cute terry cloth beach jumpsuit from Aerie, and it has this little seashell print on it. The blue colors are like my colors. So I got a ton of wear out of it. I honestly cannot wait to whip that thing back out. It's so comfortable. I feel like it can fit me at a range of sizes too, which is really nice. And I feel like it almost has a 70s vibe to it, which again is an aesthetic or theme that's always run through my style anyway. So I like that about it. I feel like it'll be a pretty timeless piece. So my fourth new purchase of the year came in October. And this was specifically for a wedding. One of my friends got married in San Francisco area. And if you had asked me before I started doing low buys, what would be the hardest thing for me to restrict myself from buying, it would have been occasion wear, because one of my favorite things to do is to scroll Reformation, scroll Realization Par, scroll ASOS, whatever, any website. Like I love to just find cool occasion wear and create a character or a story around that piece and where I'm going to wear it, even if I don't have an occasion. I just like to do that. It's just fun, right? Playing dress up. It's harder to do that secondhand, but I still do it, the Depop or Poshmark. But I was scrolling on Abercrombie and I had found this perfect sort of raspberry colored dress. It had, I think it's called a basque silhouette, where it's sort of like a drop waist, but the seam at the waist is V-shaped. It's a really common silhouette. I'm sure you've seen it. But the color was great. I loved that it was cotton, so it felt really versatile, like something I could dress up or dress down. And so I got my heart set on this dress. The wedding was also in mid-October, but in San Francisco Bay Area, and I knew it was going to be warmer and it wasn't going to be like cozy fall autumnal foliage vibes. It was going to be, I wanted to go for more of like a jewel toned fall floral vibe, which I felt like this color was perfect for. So anytime that I find something new that I have my heart set on, the first thing that I do now, since being on low buys, is immediately go to Depop, Poshmark, eBay, Vinted, Gem, whatnot, whatever, to look for that specific item. Because a lot of times, especially with occasion wear, people will wear it once and then be ready to resell it or donate it or whatever. And so I did that with this dress, and I actually found two options on Depop, this exact dress in two different sizes. But unfortunately, they were a size too small or a size too big. And I almost pulled the trigger on buying the size too big in the hopes of just tailoring it down to my size. But then I really got to thinking, and I had just come off of a no buy, meaning I hadn't bought anything, thrifted, secondhand, new or not. I hadn't bought anything clothing wise for almost 3 months. If you want to know more about that, that video's up on my channel now. You can watch it if you want to. So I sort of felt like I was in a position where I could reward myself for my efforts. I had also only made 3 other purchases up until that point, and it was already October. So I decided to pull the trigger. Oh, another thing I looked at too was the dress itself, right? And the dress has so much versatility to it because it is cotton. I could totally just wear it as a summer dress in the summertime, even over a swimsuit. It's easy wash, easy wear. But also, just with the length of the skirt, there's so much versatility to mess with the silhouette and even hike it up to be a completely shorter silhouette, or wear a tulle skirt or other colorful slip skirts underneath and pin up one side, layer it with other shirts for the fall and winter, or even in the summertime, layering it up with different pieces would be cool. And so to me, that really sold it because I was like, this is not an occasion piece that I'm going to get and just immediately need to resell or redonate because I can't see myself wearing it again. And so that really inspired me to just go ahead and bite the bullet. And so that's what I did. And no regrets. I loved the dress. It was perfect. It happened to match my friends' outfits really nicely. It matched the decor really nicely. So all of our pictures together are really cute. And so I'm really happy about that purchase. I look forward to wearing it again. Full disclosure, have not worn it again since that wedding, but I definitely think it's something I'll pull out. Maybe even for Valentine's Day, it would be really cute little dress to wear, layered up in like sort of a winter styling. Yeah, my next and final purchase, so fifth and final purchase, came in December. I had my eye on these incredible pair of polka dot tights from Wolford. I forget the style name, but I will put them here. You can still get them. These tights are so expensive. They are ridiculously expensive. And I've bought expensive tights before. Sheer Tex, if you know, you know. Like, if you've bought those tights and they've worked for you, I would be surprised. I remember I bought them the year I had my first baby and I was going back to work and really wanting just some reliable tights to have. And seriously, the day I got those, immediate rip. So I swore off buying expensive tights, but I saw these Wolford ones. I've heard a lot of great things about Wolford and their quality in the past, and I just loved this print. And seriously, I saw these a year ago and I spent the whole year looking for a dupe of these. I was like, these are a polka dot tight. Polka dots are in. The polka dot tights are going to be everywhere. And sure enough, I could not find for the life of me a cheaper alternative to this specific type of polka dot tight. So the reason these are special is because they have a nude base to them and then they're black polka dots on top. So it's not a black base, it's not a sheer black base, it's just a nude color base with these massive black polka dots that are arranged in the most flattering way, in my opinion. So it was December. I'd already made 4 new purchases for the year. And I was like, do I do it? Do I get the Wolford tights? And I decided to pull the trigger. I think they ended up being a little bit on sale at Saks Fifth Avenue, which is where I ended up purchasing them from. But I think they were still $58 or something like that. So just do with that information what you will. You can get them secondhand. I didn't have any luck finding the right size or the right style in my size when I wanted them. So there is that. But I have already worn the out of these tights. Every single holiday occasion, because I got them in December, every single holiday occasion, I wore them to. I repeated basically the same holiday outfit to every holiday event I had. And I know I'll continue to wear them in the spring and summer because polka dots are just such a staple print for me and something I feel really comfortable in. And I feel like these polka dot tights will elevate little spring outfits really nicely. And for the fall next year, I'm so happy to have these tights. They are also extremely good quality. I'm happy to report absolutely no snags, no tears. I'm not hard on my tights, but I'm definitely not. I'm getting dressed in a hurry most of the time. I got 2 toddlers, you know what I mean? So that are also pulling on my legs. And what are these polka dots touching my legs? And they have held up. And I will say I've only washed them for as many times as I've worn them. I've probably only washed them 3 or 4 times just because I am really conscious of keeping their integrity held up, but they've done really well and I love having them and no regrets there. So those were my 5 items of 2024 that I bought new. And as we get into 2025, I plan to do the same thing. I'm going to keep sort of a running mental list in my mind of what I've bought new. And I don't know if I'll share that as I go or if I'll just make an end of the year recap like I did for this past year. But either way, stay tuned if you want to know more about that journey. Again, definitely check out other creators that are doing no buys and their commentary on it because it's such a personal thing. And one of the takeaways I have for myself is that I definitely was in the right place at the right time when I started this. Also, I wasn't really seeing this influenced everywhere. So it sort of felt like a rebellious act to me, which now saying that is kind of funny because I feel like it's a almost trendy thing to do. Under consumption core is kind of cool now, which I think is awesome, but you have to do what's best for you and you have to create your own guidelines. I don't want to sit here and say you should be doing this too, or you're not cool if you're only buying new stuff and you're not buying secondhand, because I don't believe in that either. I even believe that you can be an over consuming thrifter, and that's another conversation. But the point is to be cautious, not only of the environment, not only of your own spending, but how your purchases are impacting your own psyche and your own mental health, because it can feel really good the way you're shopping. And I love to shop and I still love to shop. Okay. It's just that I've changed the way that I do it to make myself ultimately happier. And I think there's room for that and a different version of that for everyone. So, all that to say, let me know down below if you've done a low buy year or a no buy year. Some people do no buy years. That's crazy to me. But share what your experiences are with it. If you haven't done one and you're thinking about it, what do you think your purchases would be? And what would you define as like okay to buy new without counting it on a list and not okay? For me, it was socks and underwear. For you, it might include bathing suits, socks, underwear, hosiery. I don't know. I'm curious to hear from everyone. I feel like it is such a personal topic. So if you liked this video, please give it a like, subscribe if you want to. All right, see ya.